In the early months of 2021, the air was thick with anticipation as the Biden administration took the reins of the country. For many, it represented a fresh start, a chance to mend the fractures that had formed over the previous 4 years. Among the most pressing issues was immigration, a topic that had ignited fierce debates and deep divisions. The Biden administration quickly moved to reverse many of the policies set forth by the Trump administration, particularly those regarding the legal status of migrants. However, the political landscape shifted dramatically as the Trump-aligned Department of Homeland Security, DHS, began to reassert its influence, culminating in the revocation of legal protections for countless individuals who had come to rely on them. The decision came as a shock to many, especially the nearly 600,000 migrants who had benefited from the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA program. These young people, often referred to as dreamers, had built lives in the United States, contributing to society, attending schools, and working in various sectors. They had been granted temporary legal status under the Obama administration, but the winds of change were unforgiving. The Trump-era DHS, emboldened by a wave of political support, announced that it would no longer recognize the protections afforded to these individuals, citing concerns over legality and the need to prioritize American workers. As news of the policy reversal spread, a wave of anxiety washed over immigrant communities. Families who had once felt secure found themselves thrust back into uncertainty. Maria, a DACA recipient from Mexico, felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. She had come to the U.S. as a child, and the only home she had ever known was here. The prospect of losing her legal status loomed over her like a dark cloud. She had dreams of becoming a nurse, aspirations that seemed to slip further away with each passing day. The emotional toll was immense, and the fear of deportation became a constant companion. Across the nation, protests erupted. Activists and allies rallied in support of the Dreamers, their voices rising in unison against the decision. Signs reading, "Defend DACA" and "No one is illegal" adorned the streets, a testament to the resilience of those who refused to be silenced. The backlash was not limited to the streets. Lawmakers in both parties expressed their concerns. Some Democrats decried the move as a cruel and unjust attack on vulnerable populations, while a handful of Republicans acknowledged the contributions of immigrants to the economy and society. Yet, the divisions were stark, and the debate quickly became a political football, with each side using it to bolster their narratives. The implications of the policy change were profound. For many, it symbolized a return to an era of hostility towards immigrants, a regression from the more inclusive approach that had characterized the Biden administration's early days. Legal experts warned of the potential fallout, predicting an increase in deportations and a chilling effect on those who might consider coming forward to seek legal status. The fear was palpable, and the future of countless individuals hung in the balance. In the midst of the turmoil, community organizations sprang into action, offering support and resources to those affected. Legal clinics were inundated with requests for assistance, as families sought to navigate the murky waters of immigration law. Maria, driven by her own experiences, joined a local advocacy group. She began sharing her story, hoping to humanize the statistics and remind people that behind every number was a life filled with dreams and aspirations. Her voice, once filled with uncertainty, grew stronger as she realized the power of collective action. As the policy debate raged on, it became clear that this was not just a legal issue, but a deeply human one. The revocation of legal status for migrants by the Trump-aligned DHS was more than a political maneuver. It was a profound shift that rippled through communities across the nation. The struggle to reclaim dignity and rights became a rallying cry, igniting a movement that sought not only to protect the Dreamers, but to redefine the narrative surrounding immigration in America. The fight was far from over, but the resilience of those affected shone through the darkness, illuminating a path toward hope and change.